let's get started. Okay, next up, the mysterious Mrs. E. They made good use of the animated tile possibilities of good old RPG Maker. I will click New Game. Let's roll. Well, that's the last of my shopping done. Earl Grey, Canton Market style. One of the best blends out there. If a little liberal with the ingredients, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean. Please go more in depth. Oh, how rude of me. I forgot to introduce myself. Well, many of you may already know me from the last story. Well, I assume I don't, because I don't. Markiplier's box. Okay. But I know some of you are new, so you can call me Elizabeth. All my friends do. I do like the fabricated, actually fabricated background there. Am I important? Well, that's the thing, you see. I'm not. I'm just a small cog in this great thing we call the multiverse. I mean, some people definitely do believe in that theory, but sure. Yes, you heard that right, the multiverse. That's where I live, smack bang in the middle of it. Me and my old English tea shop. Oh, I won't go into details now. Suffice to say, it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time in all of reality. So what am I doing in London, you ask? Well, I would argue that London may in fact be in the middle of everywhere and nowhere at the same time, so there you go. Am I standing up to the hordes of alien invaders? Not my first guess. On the hunt for some malevolent monster hidden within, or deep within the sewers? No, actually, I'm just buying tea. Sure, I guess, yes, it's the very type of tea, so sure. That's the life I led, really. I buy tea, serve crumpets, and run a tea shop. I wasn't kidding when I said I was the tea lady, who just so happens makes a habit of saving the world sometimes. Hello, Miss... I can't take that one voice in. Hello, Miss E. Can I interest you in today's paper? Every time, Robbie, shouldn't you be at home on your PlayStation or talking to your friends on the internet or something? When hell freezes over, Mrs. E, you can't find a good substitute for being outside with people or reading a good book. Or paper, I say. Too many people are reading their American apps these days. Now, Robbie. The Brits make apps too, you know. It should be two. Sure, I'll overlook that and make typos. Yeah, but we're all watching Fox News or TIT these days, and all they talk about is America. Day in, day out. Nothing like a good bit of British news, I say. I'm not giving you a British accent, I'm just talking out with a fuck that accent this time. Which is why I love my job, the usual Mrs. E. Well, the bueno, please. Oh, and I think I'll take a copy of the Dandy, too. Must see what my old pal Desperate Dan is up to these days. And the Times? Yes. Yes. And the Times, too, I suppose. Really, I only carry that around for appearances. Can't even do the crossword puzzles without the heuristics these days. So, Mrs. E, you hear about them murders? What murders, Robbie? I'm surprised you ain't, Missy. It's buzzing all around to London now. I was having trouble with a box. It stole my tea and I had to hunt it down. That kinda took up most of my time. Alrighty then. Anyways, apparently there's some dude walking around London. He's killed 5 people already. Skinned them and taken their eyes. Scooped them like they were ice cream, he did. I know, I was there. He put them right on a cone. And where did you hear this? I read it, I did. In Times, of course. I bet they literally said they scooped it out like an ice cream cone in Times magazine. Is that what kids are reading these days? That'll be €4.50, please. Missy. I also threw in a bag of Bassett and such for you. You know, the special red ones. On the house, Mrs. E. It's not an English accent, it's just an unidentifiable fake accent. I guess it sounds kind of Indian, but not really. Why, thank you, Robbie. You are a charmer. See, it kind of sounds like a mixture between Indian and Irish. No. Why, thank you, Robbie. You are a charmer. See you tomorrow. Murders in London are not rare, sadly. Crime is as rife here as any city in the universe, but these murders unsettle me more than usual today. Maybe because you're high on tea. I'm not gonna judge. The hallmarks of a serial killer, so why does I get a familiar vibe from them? I shouldn't even get involved. This is more Nevermore's line of expertise, but he's not here now. I am. And there I go again, poking my nose in where it's not asked. I couldn't ignore it, let the local authorities deal with it. But that would be no fun at all. And if I know my violent crimes well enough, I know exactly who'll be on this case. How could I pass opportunity up to say hello to an old friend? But first, I better drop all of this off at the tea shop. Now, where did it park itself this time? And now I can actually play. I'm just on the move. Back at the beginning, which means we can move over this way. I do like the sort of pixely style, I will say that. Move from there, telephone booth, nope. No, I don't like the sounds I'm hearing in there anyway. What is that smell? Murder. Walters. First of all, it says this belonged to someone named Walker. Walker. My name is not Walker, and secondly, it's a men's shop. I think the clues are in the sign. Yet I know I'm just gonna look everywhere. It's Burstow. I run a tea shop. Ah, my tea shop, finally. Did you miss me, my darling? Well, finally home. Better sock this tea away in storage. The tea storage room is to Mr. Z's left, you're right. Why make that so confusing? But yes, it does say tea room over there, so sure. Where we keep the picture of the Mona Lisa on the wall at all times. It's the secret storing place, the tea shop. The tea vaults. Yes. I'm sure that's actually a thing. It might be. I've never been to London. I keep on thinking that maybe you can get up somewhere, but here we go. Finally, the most secure tea in the multiverse. Not even a tiny box can steal it now. I can't seem to get these murders off my mind. There is something about them that's very off. Not that murder isn't always off, but this is a different somehow. Well, I better talk to Jenna in the archives, see if she has any information on them. If they are worth my time, I'll look deeper into them. The archives are on the far right to your left. Moving on. Time to go to the left side. Left, right, and all about. You're over here next. Another famous M.C. Escher painting. Let's move on. Hello, person.
Hey, boss. What can I do for you for?
Hey, Jenna. I'm a little behind on the news this week. Nothing in the bueno about a spate of murders going around London. Something to do about skinning the victims and taking their eyes.
Do you have any information on that?
Only the biggest serial killer scandal since Jack the Ripper. 5 murders in 1 week, all unknown victims. What makes this so big is that the murders are so close together. Which suggests either a rank amateur or someone on a tight schedule. Oh, that was her talking. Exactly, but as the victims have so far been unidentified and spread out, other than the skin and the eyes, the police cannot ascertain a motive or a pattern as to where the killer will strike next. Save for one thing, a message painted on the walls at all scenes of the crimes of the victim's blood, not your flesh. You can see the Jack the Ripper connections there. We weren't told about this.
Hardly, I was the one who stopped him.
What was he like? Or maybe, do I have these characters mixed up? I didn't remember. I didn't get her name earlier. I think I got them mixed up. Society's morbid fascination with one of London's most notorious. Yes, you caught Jack the Ripper. I'm sure you were the one that did it. London's most notorious killers never ceases to amaze me. He was a killer, nothing more or less. It was only the mystery behind who he was that made him famous. Personally, I would rather forget I ever met him, vile man, and rather pathetic in the long run. She's able to get info from other realities. Ooh.
Sorry I asked. If it helps, I can tell you where the latest murder just took place, the 6th as if it were.
There's been another killing?
Yes, Travis Street, London. The police are on site now. Sergeant Cooper is leading the investigation.
Of course he is. Thanks, Jenna.
Wait, so do you want me to let me know where you're on your way?
Nah, imagine how pleased and surprised he'll be to have my assistance on the case.
Surprise is certainly one word for it. Pleased, however, is not another.
Okay. Now, out of our way. Where do you wish to go? The gardens. Looks nice. I'll come back later. Sure, Travis Street. Why, hello, Sergeant Cooper. Looks like you have quite the mess on your hands. Well, that's all we need. Not only do I have a mass killing on my hands, but now I got the tea lady here to tell me what I'm dealing with, some kind of alien now. That's just dandy. Now, Cooper, I'm not a frog and you're no bunny. Let's not leap ahead of ourselves. How do you know I just didn't come by for some friendly chat at a murder scene right now? You know, discuss the weather, sports like friends do. Because we're not friends. And friends don't just pop in for a friendly chit-chat at the local crime scene. It just doesn't happen, Mrs. E. So, let's cut the wisecracks that always get me doing what you want, and let me show you what's going on. Sergeant Cooper, one of London's finest, but a police officer born outside of his natural element. Let me put it this way, he would feel much more home in a crime-cracking beat in New York than a community beat here in London. Is something wrong with that sentence, or is it just me? Not that London is boring compared to New York, it's just that's how Cooper sees it. Nothing that way, which means let's go over this way. London sure is a wild place, those multiverses and everything. I'm not sure how up to speed you are, Mrs. E, but I'll lay out the gist for you, and you can ask me any questions to fill in the blanks. The last 5 days have seen 5 murders throughout London, each with the same MO. The victims have had their skin completely ripped from their bodies and their eyes removed. At every crime scene, we see the same words splattered in blood, either on the walls, the floor, or even the surrounding cars. Not your flesh, as you can see here. The handwriting could do with some improvement. All callous humor aside, that's not the weird part. Ah, now we're getting to my territory. The time of death seems almost impossible, all during the busy hours of the day, and yet the suspect has been seen hours later painting the walls with his sweet poetry. Wait, so you guys don't know who's killing the people, but people have seen him painting blood on the walls, and yet you haven't caught him? I find this hard to believe. Daylight human butchery. The killer is either daring, stupid, or what? You mentioned a suspect? Fine, don't tell me. I'll just play catch up as I usually do. Yeah, suspect. One of our officers who came onto the scene earlier this morning came across him, scared the living shit out of him too. Just another day in London, of course. Language, Sergeant Cooper. Sorry, Lay, but I've got 5 mutilated J-Does on my hands. Sorry if my language is a bit much for you to handle over all the blood and gore I have to deal with right now. Anyway, the officer's over here if you want to talk to him. Not the flash message, but for who? Not every clue is obvious to find. As Mrs. E, you have the ability to relate to your surroundings. Press the A key, and for a brief moment you'll be able to see harder to find clues. Remember, kids, you can see harder, but you cannot move as you concentrate. There you go. Hair and skull fragments in the bricks. Looks like the killer was careless this time. Maybe something took him by surprise? A witness, perhaps? The corpse has been skinned to the muscle. How can anyone do such a thing in broad daylight and get away with it? It's a broken porcelain eye. There are specks of blood on it. Could it have been from the struggle? This is Lieutenant Jennings, the officer who saw the suspect earlier today. Jennings, I want you to tell this lady everything you told me. Sir? Just humor me, Jennings. Well, madam, that's to say, I came as soon as we got the call and arrived at the scene at approximately 3 a.m. when I saw an arrival, a man, or something, painting those words on the wall. Well, I got out of my car and cautiously approached the thing with my taser at the ready. The suspect was armed with what looked like a kitchen knife. Why do you refer to it as a thing? Well, that's just it. You can't make a really long RPG Maker game in 4 to 8 hours. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. So I'm suspecting that we're coming to the end soon because there was 3 areas to explore. And this is the second area. Well, that's just it. It was stretching out its limbs to paint those words with the victim's blood in its hands. It didn't look human, and it wasn't. I ordered it to turn around. For a moment, it turned its head. Oh, God. Its face, I mean, there wasn't one. No mouth, nose, or even eyes. It was just a bloody, faceless corpse. It came for me. Slowly, I ordered it to stay back, but still it approached me. I fired my taser. It didn't have an effect. I pulled out my firearm and fired several shots. It still kept on coming for me. I tried to run, but as I turned it was in front of me, and as if it moved at inhuman speed. It grabbed a hold of me and looked into my eyes. Even though it had no eyes, I could feel it looking at me. It turned me around with force and made me look at the words on the wall. And all the time I heard in my head, "Do you see? Do you see? Do you see?" I have to admit I screamed as the words hurt, and with that the monster was gone. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what happened. It wasn't a dream, I swear. And yep, it's fucking Slender Man. You know what? The clue that it was Slender Man should have been that apparently the previous game was Markiplier's box. That should have been the clue. The biggest clue of all. It's alright. I believe you. See why I'm not arguing with you or being involved with this case now? So let me guess. Aliens, right? Aliens aren't monsters, Cooper. No, I'm afraid this is a real monster we're dealing with here. Has anyone seen the killer actually killed? Do the victims have anything in common? What do forensics say? I've learned enough. No, then. What do forensics say? Now, here's the kicker. Other than the victims, no identifiable DNA can be found. Imagine that. The killer must bathe in bleach or something. Do the victims have anything in common? Hell, we haven't even identified them yet. We may have a match soon. I'll let you know when we do. Has anyone seen the killer actually kill? No one's come forward. All we have is that they find after the deed is done. I can't believe how something like this could be done during the day. I'm assuming you know what this thing is. No, Sergeant Cooper, I don't, but I do believe that the monster may not be everything he appears. What do you mean? Well, for a start, why didn't he kill Jennings? And whilst he's a suspect, did anyone actually see this thing kill? Maybe he didn't fit the type? No, he wanted an undeniable witness to his message. He wants his delivered, but to who? This is bad, Cooper. This is very bad. Define bad. We have a killer chasing the killer. He stole something from the faceless man, maybe, or is it something deeper? What's the message? What am I missing here? Well, I do have some good news, depending on how you look at it. Given the circumstance, we identified 3 of the victims. Nancy Portland. You just said you had no one identified literally a minute ago. Where does this information come from? Nancy Pollard, age 46. Rupert Pollard, age 47. Richard Pollard. Oh my God, this is a ritual, isn't it? That's what you were. That's what you weren't telling me. Weren't telling me. Every single victim is related. Mother, father, son. Yes, this confirms my fears. It is a ritual. The skin of the eyes have some special meaning, as do the words, not your flesh. I'm going back to the tea room, Cooper. Contact me as soon as you identify the last 2 victims and who the 6th is likely to be. Will do. Oh, and I'm glad it's you on this case, and not the other guy with the funny hat. Was that Professor Layton? Nevermore, he's a loose cannon, that one. Sergeant Cooper, when all this is said and done, you may wish Nevermore had been here instead. Okay, no, it wasn't. I just thinking too hard. That was more than I bargained for. I better check up with Jenna and see if she's got any more information I'll be needing for this case. Jenna! That's all I can say to that one. Can't answer with the T. Jenna's gone. Or very far back there she is. Hey, alright.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Jenna, I need you to find someone for me.
Way ahead of you, boss. Cooper called in with the same favor. Told me you were involved.
How does Cooper do these things so fast? We just saw him 20 seconds ago.
Who do you need to identify? Do you think identify the victim so quickly?
You never cease to amaze me, Jenna. What have you got?
Carson Pollard, age 25, youngest of the two boys' no sisters. Married but separated with one daughter, age 8. Works for a security firm in North London, currently staying in a motel whilst estranged with his family.
Is there any chance he could be the killer?
Unlikely, boss.
It's actually possible to have gray hair by the age of 25. Sometimes comes to do with genetics and stress and yada yada.
I've accessed every camera and work schedule in Carson. He's either been at work, at the hotel, or at least with plenty of people as witnesses during the killings.
So, what you're telling me is that the chances are he's the next victim.
Got it in one, boss.
Sure.
Now the Faceless Man. I checked all your databases and found nothing. You can't find anything about a Faceless Man on the internet. It's impossible. But I did come across some urban myths, creepypasta, that kind of thing.
Creepypasta? Jenna, really?
Slender turned out to be real in the end, if you remember.
Okay, maybe it's not Slender. What do I know? I still have nightmares. Show me what you got. Oh. It's an SCP, the literal Faceless Man. SCP-5XXP. Type Keter. Description: there is a high risk of mimic spread concerning SCP-5XXP. It is not known what causes the being into physical form. However, the victims are always amnesia patients who have suffered long-term coma treatment. Physical harm to any other human is as yet unknown at this time, though it is not averse to violent, deadly force if anything or anyone gets in the way of its prey. So far we have been unable to contain SCP, as its manifestation on the realm is temporary. It appears once it has killed its victims, it simply vanishes, almost as if SCP was a... I'm just going to say SCP, I'm not going to read 5XXP every single time. Was a manifestation of its victims' amnesia. Their theories currently surround the SCP might be the cause of the patient's amnesia. The SCP might be the cause behind it and may be a vengeful entity if forgotten. Oh boy. SCP is described as a corpse-like with no facial features. It wears a ragged trench coat and torn jeans and no shirt. It is often seen carrying a kitchen knife. The words "not your flesh" are often written in its victim's wake. Yeah, okay, thank you, Internet. Anyways, it's uncertain that these words mean if it is attributed to the soul, the victim, or to us. However, the violent nature of SCP must not be underestimated, and any attempts to contain SCP must be taken with extreme measures. Subject orders concerning SCP, the danger the subject holds to the public, specifically the vulnerable victims or coma or amnesia, cannot be underestimated. Therefore, for the public interest and the safety of all SCP staff members, engagement in SCP should be avoided at all costs unless complete termination of the subject can be guaranteed. Okay. List of known victims. Hi. End of search. Are any of these victims or Carson recent coma or amnesia patients? That's way more people than I would have expected, but still, though. And you, the player, obviously. That's the negatory, who seems to be the anomaly of all of this. Is the faceless man actually broken a pattern or something? Or something? Where is Carson staying?
At the Queen...
Sorry, I forgot our voice for a second.
At the Queen Mary Motel, room 316. Not the classiest of joints, I'm afraid.
Bad circumstances do not make a bad person, Jenna. I'll go check this out. Thanks. And with a glowing light... Hi. I like to whisper sweet nothings into their ears. Just neglect me on that one. So, motel, something, something, 3 whatever. I'm going, and you can't stop me. What? What is that, even? Is the Merry Christmas version of a Lovecraftian entity deciding that it's gonna stop me? Or is that a tree? I think it's a tree. It's too much for you, even now, after all this time, to understand I can't walk away from innocent lives that are at stake. There's like all these random characters that just pop into existence. I don't know who the fuck they are. You should have all of the Elder Gods. Yeah. It's what bound us together in the long run. I was innocent once, remember? I have to do this and you need to let me. Please, Elder God, let me go and stop the faceless SCP. Thank you. All praise and hail over to the Elder Gods. Where do you wish to go? I think it's London if the hotel was on. Now I'll go to the park. Oh, never mind. I guess it actually really is the park. Because she's just saying old dialogue there. Because they forgot to program it otherwise. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, I went to the right spot. Not mean to go back immediately. Da, da, da. Let's pass on through the trees, or wherever this is. Was there even anything over here? Didn't they say I was going to a hotel? Or is it actually on London? Maybe it's over here, in the archives. I'll check quickly. The defaults. Alright, anywhere you can press A to be able to see if there's anything to identify close by. But alas, the answer is no. Well, didn't spawn anything over there. I know they said to go to room 315 in the motel somewhere, but I missed where they said I was supposed to go. I got kind of distracted by a few things. I mean, you feel like a hotel would be on London, so I'll look here first. Guess it's not here. Well, that's my tea shop, right? Ah. Not me to go to the garden, because I actually don't think it's here I'm supposed to be going. Although I could always press the A button and investigate the scene. Is there any shinies around here? This area is not that big, so I can take a moment. The answer which is no, there are no shinies. This is gonna be, like, I guess the lair location. Yeah, let's go on back. I guess somewhere else? Oh, there it is, room 316. Ah. I better search the entire room if I'm to find how Carson fits into this mystery. There's a shiny on the bed. The bed is made, too perfectly made, as if it hasn't even been slept in. There's a handwritten letter. It's an abduction threat. Mrs. Pollard, you have followed your instructions well so far. Keep following your daily instructions to the letter, and your family will remain safe. Come to the warehouse at the address on the business card. Provide this letter on Friday morning at 8 a.m. to receive further instructions. Should things go well, your family will be reunited with you alive. I promise you will be happy, new man. It goes without saying, if you go to the police or anyone else in this matter, your wife and child will die, and they have such pretty bodies, it would be a shame to waste them. I better go to the warehouse. There is something utterly strange about all of this. Yes, there's something strange about a murder threat or a black ransom. Something doesn't seem real about it. Just seeing if there's any other shinies, and there were. There's a list of things to do here. Wake up, clean teeth, use toilet, shower, get dressed, brush hair, eat breakfast, go to work. Odd, these are everyday second nature things. Why would he need to remind himself to do these things? 'Cause he's an alien! Comb fell back here. It's full of fake hair, the kind you would use on a doll. There was a porcelain eye at the previous crime scene. What sort of doll are we going to go to now? Warehouse. I have been cut off from the tea room. I can't go back. That means some very powerful forces are at work here, or there are some very effective wards in place. I better be alert. There's a shiny behind me. There is a tea room behind the window. The cracked glass makes it difficult to see inside. The impact of the glass must have been powerful. That glass looks pretty tough. That and it's bound with powerful magic. I can literally taste it. It's foul. There it is again. Not your flesh, written in blood on the floor. What is the meaning behind these words? I'll locate this shiny. It's a large shipping container. It's fast and tight. These gruesome words, not your flesh, is scrawled all over it. Well, it's not your flesh. I just wish the monster was really snappy. Like, snap, snap, not your flesh. My dreams will never come to reality, though. There is a door here. I will investigate. These doors are magically sealed. I'll need something to open it. Maybe a seal to break a seal. If used correctly, the same word can be used to conceal and allow another. All I need is to find a word or a seal. How about not your flesh? It's only been painted everywhere. In blood. Okay, there are a few shinies in here, which means I'll go look for you. There are instructions for Carson written in the same handwriting as the abduction letter. It says, watch the container. Do not open it, or your family will die. Mr. Carson Polar, I presume. What? Who the hell are you? Wait, this is this guy. I'm just gonna give him an old man voice, because he has gray hair even though he's only 25. How did you get in here? Where is my family? Calm down, Mr. Carson. I am not your enemy. I am just as concerned for your family as you are. No, you shouldn't even be here. My family will be quite safe if your adversary knows what he or she is dealing with right now. Trust me, keeping your family alive is more in their interest now than it is in yours. Can you tell me what's going on, Carson? What happened to your eye? The damn monster cut it out. He chased me into this room where I found my instructions. And those would be... It's strange. I am to stay in this room and watch the storage container until 6 a.m. the following morning, at which time I am to open it up and will apparently know what to do. His wounded eye socket isn't bleeding. The wound is not fresh enough for the attack he describes. And if you open the storage container before then, my family will die. There's a great sincerity in his voice. He actually believes what he is saying. Should I? Don't give a fuck, you're lying! No, I swear I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm just as lost as you are. How can I prove it to you? You can first tell me why there are odd notes to yourself in your room, why the letter and your notes are in the same handwriting. I assume your handwriting. I don't know. I was trying to figure out that myself. Maybe someone's trying to frame me. I love my family, and don't you think something like this is too elaborate for someone like me to come up with? I don't know what someone like you is. What do you know about your parents and your brother's murder? They were murdered? You honestly had no idea? I'm sorry, Carson, I truly am. Nailed it. Rough notes on Carson's day. Nothing important in them except that they use the same handwriting as the induction note. You obviously know more about what's going on than I do. Can you save my family? Trust me, Carson, I have as much clue as to what's going on as you do, but I intend to do everything in my power to save both you and your family. Who are you? A teacup. It's just the tea lady. I'm just the tea lady. I look up at the ceiling and shout to whoever may be listening. You hear that? Whoever you are, I'm the tea lady, and that should have you worried. Yes. What can I do to help? You were told to watch a box, so for now I suggest you watch it. I want to look for your family. Oh, and I suggest you prepare to fire run if you have to. Time to turn this trap in on itself. If it means anything, if it means saving my family. You listen to me and keep telling yourself this over and over again. Say these words like mantra. Carson's family is everything. Keep saying those words and believe it, and I promise they will be saved. Isn't his name Carson? That'd be like saying, it's like if I was going to stand here for hours saying, Ryan's family is everything. Ryan's family is everything. What? My family? No, Carson's family. The name is important. It will remind you of who you are, understand? I guess not. Okay. The laptop shows security footage of the warehouse. 2 cameras focus on the room with a container. It also has access to power grid. The seal Solomon, a real one. Not one of those cheap imitations you see in the knockoffs in bookstores today. Do you go to bookstores and look for cheap knockoffs of Solomon seals? This is some very serious magic. Could Uriel be behind this somehow? This could be power I'm looking for to break the seals of the doors. If I take it, though, Carson's protection will be gone. Shall I take the seal? No. Sorry, Carson, you're gonna die. But I'll go back first. But I actually think, I don't think there's a choice. Yeah, there's no choice. Sorry, Carson. I'm gonna save your family, but you are going to die. Now Carson's will die. See you later, alligator. The monster's just a giant alligator in the sewers. Of magic. So how about, want me to risk life and limb on some kitchen magic with powerful seals no man was meant to understand? You did it. Why is there 2 arrows? I'm shimmying. Hello? Who's out there? Oh, this is Mrs. Pollard. Is that you? Yes. Who's out there? Are you here to help us? Don't worry, Mrs. Pollard. I will have you out of there ASAP. Is your daughter there with you? Yes. Oh, God, what's happening? That looks nothing like the picture. It's a 3-colored blue RPG Maker sprite. Now your flesh. It's my flesh. My flesh. Let me guess. They were not her flesh. I appreciate the save, but did you have to kill her? I figured out why you're here. What's in that box, and I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to give Carson, or the thing wanting to be Carson, a chance, so I suggest you don't stop me. Don't you give me the blank stare, young man. This isn't your world. Granted, it's not his world either, but whilst I'm here, you play by rules. You want no Carson, you can have him, but unharmed. Or do you really want to put my determination to the test? So you can be reasoned with? Good boy. If you want Carson, fine, but there are terms and you will listen to them. Is that Deadshot? I kept saying what you told me over and over again. Carson's family will be safe. It took me a while to figure out why, but I finally remember. And the damnable thing is, I am doing everything in my power to forget what I've done, what I'm about to do. Why did you figure it out? I wasn't sure at first, but the fact you had to remember a simple everyday task, your eye wound, you're not the real Carson, you're not even a real person yourself, are you? You see, I finally understand the meaning behind these words, not your flesh. You're a nobody, a neverwhere, a soul not even given the chance to live or exist. Nothing more than a broken doll. Forgive me, the part of me that is becoming Carson is still having trouble trying to register all this. The skins of those closets in the host pie must warn. The life of the host, seen and experienced, seen through the lives of the closet, nearest and dearest and seen. Sorry, they've seen so often. A person is, after all, the sum of how he will ourselves and how others see us. A person is not complete without our one identity or the other. We have no lives. We pretend to be that which we are not, and we are in the forbidden identity. Or even face, and yet every now and again, fortune favors some of us, and we take on the lives of those who have lost theirs. Either through accident or happenstance, this too is forbidden, and the faceless man hunts those who dare to steal the lost lives of others. I dare to love, not pretend, but truly love. And you bought your family here. You bought your family here! And you bought your love here, too, to take the life of an entire family who did not lose their lives. They were wasting their lives, threw away the very gift they have. Love, family, a child. We would have given the life purpose, meaning. That's all we wanted. Life is wasted on the living. They have no idea what each other. It's not your place to last, but you have every day. Yeah, that option, sure. And who are you to decide that? I've already taken the lives of 5 people, good people, and should I choose to, I shall take many more. Bring my people out of their shadows and into true promised land. You're insane, I guess. Am I any more insane than the joke state of limbo to which I am already bound to? I have come to learn one thing this conversation between us, and that is insanity is true liberation. I shall embrace it. Now, out of my way, so I can finish what I started and finally become. And take on the flesh of the real Carson? I don't think so. His family is safe. Your partner in this affair is slain by the faceless man. Liar! I watched it happen. I made it happen. I will kill you, bitch! You gave me over to him, you fucking bitch. It was either that or more people die, either at your hands or his. Carson's family is safe. The doll who was to replace your wife slain by him. I am so very sorry, Carson. What does it matter? How can you pity a nobody, a broken doll as you called me? My love is slain. I only half understand what's going on. I mean, I get it, but I don't get the character motives, I think is where I'm at. I get the faceless man takes care of quote-unquote nobodies or dolls or whatever and yada yada yada, but why does he want to be whatever limbo realm? Maybe I just don't care enough to figure out the reasoning. I'm like, eh. My love is slain, even her non-existent life denied her, and soon the other, who was to be our child, will be safe. That was the deal. You for her. She will not take another life, but she will have one nonetheless, I promise. You have done terrible things. I cannot forgive you for that. Maybe you can, not yourself, but it's up to you. If you find redemption, something the living really appreciate. Spare me your fucking pity. You can damn her to half an existence, a reminder of the potential she can never truly obtain, except through the illusions you bestow upon her. This bastard may take me, but I promise you, this venture was not wasted. I have left a legacy, and I will not be the very last to try this. Rest assured, the living will give themselves to us. You seem so sure of yourself. A revolution always begins with the first step. I have never been so alive. And you can't take that away from me. She stays with me. That was the deal. Our business is done. Leave. And pray we do not meet again, because the next time I won't be as approachable. His butt was muttering to me, apparently. That's not going to in the report, you know. I'm not gonna put your shitty fan fiction into my police report. Get the fuck out of here, T-Lady. That's game. Okay. So, this day of murders is going to go on the way of old Jack, then. For the public good and all that bullshit. You know Ghost and the undead were scary enough to think about when I was a kid. Now we have to worry about souls that never lived at all? I'm not sure what's scarier. It takes some courage to live sometimes than to die, Cooper. I know this better than most. I think you do too. I am okay, Elizabeth. Let's not go there. You only call me by my name when you think about her. Bartholomew Cooper? Bartholomew, I think. I accepted you couldn't have saved her a long time ago. You never could. She took her own life, Elizabeth, and as much as we have to live with the pain of that, we also have to learn to move on. For her sake as well as ours. Well, there's only one difference, Cooper. I was her before I came along. Moving on is something I can never do, but I will make her legacy worth living. Ba-da-da! Reach the end. So, overall thoughts on this one. I like the art style. The music does not sound original, and I'm guessing it's not. That wasn't bad. It was a decent enough selection. Unfortunately, while there are potential interesting ideas in the narrative, they were not executed well. I agree with the general consensus. It became something of a slog to get through, and it was kind of just a text-based game, but the text was kind of badly written, not well paced, and they missed the art of subtlety to a horror story, trying to over-explain everything. One of the worst things you can do in a horror game, my personal opinion, is over-explain things. It usually makes it such a drag, it's less interesting as well. That's just my stance on it, though. And I don't know, the dialogue was very interesting, and that was part of the that was the biggest flaw with the game, really. Also, of course, they took from multiple sources of whatever, you know, whatever, I guess. Well, anyways, there was Mrs. E, the House of Broken Dolls. Time to share my opinion.